They don't bury their dead here. They don't cremate them either. They carry them slowly down a narrow path to the edge of a crater lake, lay the body in a bamboo lattice, and leave it there beneath a single ancient tree. A tree that somehow swallows the smell of death. Days pass, then weeks, until only bone remains. Along the shore, a quiet row of human skulls stares back across the water like pale moons. Welcome to Trunyan, the village of the dead. Tonight, we're going to cross Lake Batur, sit with the Bali Aga elders, and ask a question that refuses to die. Why does this place keep its dead in the open? And what does it tell us about life? Take a breath, keep your voice low, and come closer. The day begins with mist. Lake Batur is calm, a great bowl of water tucked inside an ancient volcano, its rim rising like the broken edge of a giant vessel. Motorboats hum at a tiny jetty, plastic buckets, nets, and the day's fish catch under a tarp. Somewhere on the far shore, behind a green fold of hillside, sits Trunyan. We step into the boat, the wood knocking softly as we push away. The air is cool, not the beach heat most people expect from Bali, but a mountain breath, thin and clean. The lake surface wrinkles, and a faint scent of wet stone, algae, and wood smoke rides along. Halfway across, the boatman points with his chin. "Trunyan," he says, not loudly, almost respectfully. From this angle, the village barely shows, just a scatter of dark roofs tucked into trees, and beyond it, a thicker stand of forest, and one towering canopy that seems older, heavier than the rest. He doesn't say the tree's name yet. No one needs to. If you've come this far, you already know the story, or the rumor. Before we reach the shore, it helps to understand the people who live here. Across most of Bali, you'll find a Hindu-Balinese culture shaped by centuries of trade, kingdoms, and ritual art. But the Bali Aga, mountain Balinese, keep older rhythms. Their villages, Trunyan among them, hold to rules and ceremonies said to predate the great courts of southern Bali. Architecture, calendars, marriage customs, even the way they sit and speak in council, carry the weight of ancestry. They see the landscape as a living hierarchy: volcano, lake, forest, field, house. Spirits dwell in each layer, not distant, but present, like neighbors whose doors you pass every day. And in this layered world, Trunyan's most powerful neighbor is a tree. They call it the Taru Menyan. Taru meaning tree, Menyan meaning fragrance or incense. Local tradition says its perfume is so strong it neutralizes the scent of decay. That's why bodies can rest here in the open air, unhidden, unburied, unburned. Is the science settled? No, not exactly. Some point to airflow off the lake, the antiseptic quality of mountain air, certain aromatic compounds in the leaves, and the careful way the bodies are prepared. But talk to the elders, and they'll tell you something simpler and deeper. The tree watches, they say. The tree protects. And in return, the living follow rules that keep harmony. If you've ever walked into a cedar grove and felt the air change, if you've stepped into a church and your voice dropped without being told, you already understand the shape of this belief. The Taru Menyan isn't just wood and leaf, it's a presence. So when someone dies in Trunyan, they are brought not to a grave, but to a neighbor. The boat noses against a small landing. We step out, and the path narrows into shade. Birds flicker. Plastic prayer flags whisper, and the ground softens with damp leaf litter. then we see it. The cemetery isn't a grid of stones. It's a low, living place, woven into the roots of the forest. There are bamboo cages, ancak saji, shaped like gentle huts, each large enough to shelter a single body. Inside, the deceased lies dressed in ceremonial cloth, wrapped and tied in layers. Offerings rest nearby: fruit, flowers, small packets of rice, incense. Over time, when only bones remain, the skull is carefully moved to a ledge of black stone, joining others in a neat, solemn row. A wind stirs, and a bright, clean smell threads through. Resin, leaf, smoke, something like clove, something like eucalyptus, something that makes you breathe in deeper without thinking. That scent, locals say, is the tree doing its quiet work. You notice something else. There are no flies, no scavenger smell, just the lake, the wind, the canopy, and the soft clicking of bamboo. Trunyan's funerary system isn't anything goes. It's careful, codified, and old. There are 3 burial grounds, each with a purpose. The first, the most sacred, is for those who die natural deaths. Elders, mothers, fathers, people whose lives simply reached their end. These are the bodies placed beneath the Taru Menyan in the bamboo shelters. Space is limited, so tradition sets a number of shelters, and when a new death arrives, the oldest remains may be moved respectfully to the skull ledge to make room. The second ground is for deaths considered impure or unusual: accident, violence, certain illnesses. Those bodies are treated with equal dignity, but they rest in a separate place, following different rules. The third is for children, or those who have not yet crossed certain thresholds of adult life in the village's eyes. Again, love and care are present, but order must be kept. In Trunyan, order is a form of respect. Why so many rules? Because rules are what allow the living to share space with the dead without fear. Because boundaries, seen and unseen, keep harmony with the tree, the lake, and the spirits that live between. If you arrive when a procession is underway, you will not forget it. There is no frantic rush. Death here doesn't feel like an interruption. It feels like a continuation. Men carry the body on a bamboo bier, the family close by, a priest moving in a slow, deliberate rhythm, the air marked by low chant and the scratch of sandals on earth. No cameras in faces, no spectacle, only the steady gravity of people doing what they have always done. At the tree, they pause. They set the body down, arranging cloth, placing offerings, adjusting the bamboo lattice until it sits just right. Someone lights incense. The smoke rises in a narrow ribbon, leaning toward the leaves as if pulled by invisible fingers. No one says goodbye loudly. No one begs the dead to come back, because here, the dead haven't gone far. How did this custom survive when the world rushed forward? Part of the answer is geography. The caldera walls wrapped Trunyan in a natural bowl, difficult to reach, easy to protect. Trade and kingship changed southern Bali, but up here, the Bali Aga carried on with smaller councils, strict marriage patterns, and a slower clock. Even when missionaries, and later tourists, brought new ideas, the core of Trunyan's rites held. And part of the answer is purpose. Cremation, so important across much of Bali, releases the soul through fire and smoke. In Trunyan, release comes through exposure, through wind, through the living fragrance of the tree. 2 paths, one intent. When beliefs are coherent and anchored in place, they endure. Let's be honest. for many visitors. Seeing human skulls in the open sets off alarms, fear, curiosity, a morbid tug. But stand here long enough, and something else arrives, an unnerving calm. Because the skulls aren't trophies, and the bamboo huts aren't cages. They are invitations to see the body for what it is, temporary, borrowed. A good garment we wear with care and then fold away. There is beauty here, but it's not flashy. It's in the grain of the bamboo, the hand that straightens a cloth, a small flower left by a child who barely reaches the ledge. It's in the way wind combs the lake, and how the forest holds its breath when the procession passes. You start to realize the modern world is loud about death and clumsy with it. Trunyan is quiet and sure. If you come right. Don't arrive as if entering a haunted house. Ask permission. Dress with respect. Cameras down, especially during any procession. Pay the community fee if requested, because maintenance here is work, and work must be honored. No touching bones, no taking souvenirs, no staging shots with skulls to spike your feed. The dead are not props. Ask before recording. If guides speak, listen fully. If an elder shares a story, let it end in silence before you rush in with a question. Remember that you are witnessing a relationship between a community and its dead, something private that the village permits you to see, not something built for you. And if a chill runs down your back, that's fine. It means you noticed you're in the presence of something larger than your schedule. People always ask, does the tree really cancel the smell? The safe answer is that several factors combine here. The Taru Menyan is aromatic, rich in resins and oils. The cemetery sits in a specific airflow pattern by the lake, moving odor away. The bodies are wrapped, tended, and placed on bamboo so air circulates. Cool mountain climate slows decay, and the community monitors the site carefully. But the scientific puzzle, interesting as it is, may not be the point. The deeper question isn't, how does this place hide the smell? It's, what kind of culture can sit with death without flinching, and do so with tenderness? The tree is the center of gravity for that answer. It is a sacred axis, a teacher. It anchors the idea that the world, even at its most frightening edges, can be navigated with one's eyes open. Sit long enough and stories surface. One says the tree's fragrance was once so powerful. It drew sailors from the far lake shores in dangerous weather, luring them to crash upon the rocks. To protect the village, the people began to bring their dead to the tree, letting the fragrance wrap itself around duty and grief, not temptation. Another story says long ago, a priest heard the tree sing, not in words, but like a low, endless vowel, vibrating through the ground and into his chest. Since then, when the elders chant, they shape their voices to the same tone. Whether you believe these tales literally or metaphorically, they create a map. They tell the young where to put their fear, where to place their reverence, and how to turn death into belonging. Of course, Trunyan doesn't float outside time. Tourism comes and goes. Phones light up, school uniforms arrive by motorbike, and the world keeps folding in. There are practical strains. Space at the primary cemetery is limited. Maintenance takes hands, and hands are busy elsewhere. The lake's level shifts with season and dam. The forest needs guarding, and every visitor brings the possibility of disrespect. Communities adapt. Some rules tighten, others loosen, while the core practice holds like a stone under moving water. That's the delicate balance. the same one countless indigenous communities face. How to survive contact with a global gaze without becoming a display case. In the end, Trunyan is a mirror. If you arrive hungry for shock, you might only see skulls. If you come with curiosity, you'll notice hands, the way people move, the woven intelligence of a practice shaped across centuries. And if you arrive with a quiet heart, you'll feel the most important thing of all, that here, death is neither monster nor secret, but a neighbor at the edge of the path. The tree stands, the lake breathes, and the village goes on with its day. Back at the jetty, the boatman unties the rope. The engine coughs once, twice, and the wake fans out behind us like silk. Shoreline recedes. The tree returns to being just a depth of green in a deeper green, and the skulls become pale marks your mind can't quite release. You realize you're taking something with you, not a photo, but a posture. The idea that it's possible to live close to endings and still be gentle. The boatman cuts the engine mid-lake, just for a moment, to let the hull drift. Listen, there's no roar here, only wind, water, and the soft ticking of wood as it cools in the shade. If you've stayed with me this long, you've walked the path with care. Maybe you came for the dark strangeness, the viral headline, Village of the Dead, and found instead something calmer, but harder, a way of being that asks more of the living. Trunyan isn't a spectacle. It's a promise between a people, a place, and their dead. A pact kept beneath a tree whose perfume teaches a lesson the modern world keeps trying to forget. That death is not the opposite of life, but part of it. That the right response to fear is attention, not avoidance. That tenderness, even here, is a choice. As the shoreline of everyday life rises to meet you again, hold that choice. Speak more softly, notice more, and remember the fragrance of the Taru Menyan, the tree that drinks the odor of endings, so the living can continue without turning away. Thank you for walking with me through Trunyan, the village of the dead. Until next time, rest well and keep your eyes open.